Hi guys, welcome back to Let It Out with Sadiq. Our guest today is a pro tennis player, Nigerian's number one tennis player, Christopher Bulus. Chris Bulus, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
For our viewers that do not know who you are, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Christopher Bulus, and fondly called Chris Bulus. But let me hold you on that. A lot of people will argue that I'm not Nigeria number one right now, but
Okay. I
we can
mean,
take that.
internationally, yeah, you're Nigerian, but nationally, you're not the number one because you haven't played a national tournament in a very long time, I believe.
Exactly.
But most player with the ATP point in Nigeria currently. Again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna start with. Can you tell us a little bit about your tennis journey and how how you started?
So I started playing in 2011.
You started tennis in
2011?
2011?
Yes.
No way.
I know when I tell people that story, it's kind of they don't believe me, but I mean it is what it is.
2011?
2011.
Okay, I'm surprised. Okay, but yeah, I thought yeah.
So I started at the summer Chevron clinic back in Lagos Lawn Tennis Club. Shout out to the club.
And I shout out to Lagos Lawn.
So I've been playing since then, and that's gotten me so far.
What inspired you to want to pick tennis? Is it something like everyone around you is doing? Like, how do you get? What inspired you?
I mean, my friends were actually playing back in those days.
Yeah.
But I never had interest because I was more into gymnastic a little bit, which is weird.
Wait, back up. Gymnastic,
Yeah.
like the same gymnastic,
Like the same gymnastic. Like I was doing like as a kid, we all have to find maybe soccer or tennis, like a little sports you play with your friends.
Is that common in Nigeria?
Yeah, it was common because I grew up in the police barracks. So it's
okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, the barracks is just every Saturday you come up with new stuff to
So
do.
yeah. And you guys were doing it in like a gymnastic club, or is just with friends? Like coaching involved, like
just with friends.
Oh wow.
No coaching involved. We kind of teach ourselves.
Yeah.
Mostly just backflip, front flip, and some little skills.
I mean, I used to do that, but I wasn't calling it gymnastic. I used to, do the flip from like fence, like crazy things, like cartoon, twist stick, like all those things back there. Like I used to do it. But yeah, that's interesting. And
then my brother played soccer. I mean, he still
okay.
plays, but I mean, not that competitive anymore. So he saw a couple of my friends coming from the tennis club.
Yeah.
And I remember this story. He says, "Oh, look at your friends coming from the tennis club, but you don't play any sport, only gymnastics." I was like, I'll take him up on that challenge. So my friends invited me to the summer camp, and yeah, I just kind of fell in love with it, and I took the challenge for my brother, and I love to compete, and I just took that.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. You had an amazing junior career. You got to world number 228, 328. You represented Nigeria in the African Junior Championship Olympics, Junior Olympics for Nigeria. How was this experience?
I mean, it all started, I would say, 2016 because
so you 2016. That's literally like 5 years later.
Yeah. So when I started, 5 years later, I got invited by the national junior coach. Obviously, I think Coach Ubali.
Coach Ubali, Mohamed Ubali.
Yeah. Yep. So we played like the African Championship qualifiers in Abuja.
Yeah.
And from there, I kind of won.
And when was this when was this?
It was in January. Like I remember we spent New Year.
So that's in 2015 or 2016?
2016.
Oh, 2016. Okay.
Yeah, January 2016. Yeah, we were called to camp.
I remember. It's funny because I was in that camp 5 years in 2011 when you started. I was actually in the camp, the junior, in the first January, and then you go to like Togo or somewhere. Yeah. But then the Nigerian was hosting the ages in 2010. So everything was in Abuja.
Yeah, and then they had 4 players. But normally it's 2 players when you go. But since we were hosting, we had 4 players. So I luckily was invited. I think I was the 4th or 3rd player. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
So I ended up winning that qualifier and then went to South Africa. And then I think that was my year because after that, I just kind of skyrocketed, moved up in the ranking. And eventually I started working with Coach Abel, I think 2016.
Oh, wow.
It thinks it's way earlier than that,
Shout out to Coach
but in my
Abel.
record, I think it's 2016. So we started working, and I just kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
got way much better from there.
Well, so at that junior level, did you compete in like, was it the same year you competed in like ITF tournaments? Like, how was that experience? Because it's impressive, 280, 328 in the world ITF. So how did you take, how long were you competing for? How many tournaments did you play? Were you winning those tournaments? How did you get to that level?
So I was on the junior circuit for only 2 years because I
Oh,
remember,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
2016, those AJCs and
Yeah,
Davis
yeah.
Cup, they didn't count.
Hmm.
So I played the futures in Abuja. At that time, they had like 3 weeks.
Oh, right,
So
right, right. I remember. Like but that's the ATP, right? The
yeah,
ATP
the ATP
Future.
futures,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
So I played those. I mean, didn't win a match. Then I was still like a junior.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then 2016 we played the first ITF. I think it was in Togo. Those Togo three
Oh,
weeks.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it's Benin, Togo,
Benin,
Togo.
Togo, Togo.
Yeah.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So there I got a couple points because that was the
Mm-hmm,
first year I actually played that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And 2017 was the year where I actually played two in Cote d'Ivoire and then three ITFs in
Yes,
Togo,
yeah, yeah,
Benin, and I
yeah.
actually won the last one
In Togo.
in Togo. Yeah,
Oh,
when I won the
nice.
last one
Oh,
in Togo,
nice.
that
Yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah. And that
um,
was is it the J4?
J5. That was
J5.
J5. Yeah.
J5. Nice, nice. So, how was your training routine like, and how many tournaments, did you play within Nigeria, like junior tournaments? What was the training routine like?
So it's funny because now I kind of
You have,
think that we have a
yeah,
routine,
yeah,
but I
yeah,
think
back.
back then there was nothing like routine. We kind
Sure,
of just,
proprietor,
yeah.
like, oh, members not finished. Oh, yeah.
Is there open court? Okay, yeah, we'll take that.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Um,
But were you like, hunting to play every day? Was it like, what? I'm only gonna, go on to play Monday to Friday, and then I'm, Sunday, Saturday, I'm chilling. Like, what was it like?
so at the club, the members starts coming at 5 p.m.
So, okay,
They're
okay,
coming to the club,
okay.
so we kind of have to practice in the morning
Yeah, yeah,
and a little bit in the afternoon.
yeah, yeah.
So I will do morning practice, take a little break, and then come back in the afternoon,
And
play
then,
some
yeah.
points with friends,
Mm-hmm,
and then in the evening, obviously, we got to go back to play members.
play
So that
member.
that was a little bit of practice too.
Yeah. So for those of you guys that don't know what members are, so mostly Nigeria, just the way we have like tennis court in the United States, where it's like open to public, you can come play. So Nigerian tennis courts, 80%, I would say,
Yeah.
they're privatized. So you have to register as a member. It's like you're in a country club here. You have to register as a member to get access to it. So most players, won't be able to play once the member are there at like from 4 to like
Yeah.
9 p.m. ish, and then you play after 9 p.m. or you play before 4 p.m. During between 4 to 9, maybe you hit with a number or you're the like ball kid or something like that. But yeah, so you did that, often.
And then the weekends, it's mostly free. Like in the
Yeah,
weekends, the members try to come in the morning,
and
so
then
we
oh
alternate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Um,
okay.
in the afternoons, it's pretty
Mm.
much matches. We play against friends.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a grind. Everybody
Oh
wants to
wow.
beat each other.
Yeah. So, how was the Nigerian circuit? How was the tennis circuit in Nigeria? Like, how did you become that good? Is it from playing a lot of tournaments? Is it from did you develop everything being in Lagos? You grew up in Lagos, right? Started your tennis career in Lagos. Did you do everything in Lagos, or how was the circuit like in Nigeria?
I mean, everything was basically Lagos.
Mm-hmm.
Lagos Lawn Tennis Club in general. We used to have.
Okay.
I think Kenka used to have like this junior circuit. I think
Right, right, right. I remember.
3 or 4 in the year.
Oh
So
wow, yeah,
that
yeah, I
time,
remember.
I would play, and it was right in the club, so I didn't have to go
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. Shout out to Kenka. I played one of those tournaments too. Junior
Yeah.
CBA. That was actually the first tournament that took me to Lagos. That was in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, shout out to Kenka.
Yeah, it's funny because now they
Yeah.
don't have this tournament anymore, and people
Hmm.
say, "Oh, Nigeria, there's no
Yeah,
tennis
yeah, yeah.
tournament." But then when those tournaments were there, it was like, yeah, this guy's not
The,
doing well. I mean, it was like when we look back, I can
Mhm.
tell that those tournaments were really
Well,
helpful.
helpful.
Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we get to play round robin matches every
Hmm,
single
hmm.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
And when we had the chance to play ITF and couple national tournaments, but maybe
Yep.
two or three. I don't think we had a lot.
Oh. So you played college. You played college for 4 years. What made you went through that? Going through college before competing now. How did you find the colleges and all?
I don't know why I always laugh after the question, but it's just like a very very interesting questions that for me initially. I think one of my friends even asked me when I went to
Hmm.
Las Vegas. He was like,
Yep.
"Why didn't you just go to Las Vegas right away? Why you went to all this other
Hmm.
colleges?" I'm like, I mean, for me, I just wanted to have a full scholarship. I mean,
Yeah,
that was the
yeah,
biggest goal.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, I was nationally ranked number 6 at that time. I could be playing ITF. I mean, I could be playing national.
Nationally ranked in the men's circuit, right?
Yeah,
In the
back
men's
in
circuit,
Nigeria.
and you were
Yeah,
still junior.
I was still junior. I was
Wow.
like, should I stay and be, not be? Maybe I
Yeah,
could be
yeah,
top one.
yeah. Eventually played Davis Cup for the country,
Yeah.
be the country's number one player. But listen,
uh,
you didn't lose. At the end of the day, you're still playing Davis Cup, and
yeah.
you're one of their best players. But yeah,
So I decided. I mean, with I think coach came to me one day. He was like, Coach Abel.
Coach
He came to
Abel,
me. He was
okay,
like,
yeah.
so I have this one friend in college because I mean I wasn't that time social media was there, but wasn't that big of a deal with the college
Yeah,
contacting.
yeah, yeah.
So I was offered a full scholarship, and I was like, sure, why not?
Oh wow.
It's a good opportunity, and
What school is this that offered you a
that
full
was
scholarship?
New Mexico Military Institute. Yeah,
Oh, New Mexico. So you did your first 2 years in New Mexico Military Institute?
I did 2 years there, and
Yeah, yeah,
I transferred to a D2 school.
yeah.
Then
What
COVID,
school was that?
University of West Alabama.
West Alabama. So you went from New Mexico to West Alabama, and then you all the way to
All the
Vegas.
way to Vegas. Yes.
How did that happen?
So COVID happened,
Yeah, yeah.
and we everybody got extra eligibility, and
Yeah.
because we didn't play enough that semester, and I decided I was like, okay, Chris, good team, good school, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to compete,
Oh.
tougher,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided like, okay, let me look for school
Sure.
outside the South,
Yeah.
and Las Vegas wrote to
So,
me. I looked at it, and
yeah.
I kind of
And they offered you a full
full
scholarship.
scholarship
Oh
too,
wow.
so.
Wow. A full scholarship in Vegas? Who would say no to
Don't say no,
that?
exactly,
But
exactly.
yeah,
So,
oh, nice.
I
How
mean,
was the experience out in Vegas?
it was great. It
You
was great. I
okay?
always thought that I could only school there for like 2 years maximum. Like anything more than 2 years, I don't know. I don't know what the outcome
Yeah,
will be, but I loved it.
nice. Nice. What are some of your challenges? What are some of the challenges you faced along the way? How did you overcome them? So when I mean challenges along the way, like just from your junior cycle, going through colleges, playing all the school, like it could be like, school challenge matches. Like what are some of the challenges you faced?
I mean, in juniors, I think we struggle mostly with like when we go to the tournaments, like maybe the financial aspect. You say,
Financial,
I mean, like you
yeah.
need your rest. We like have like a group of guys staying in
Mm,
one room. It
yeah,
was like
yeah,
crowded. You
yeah,
don't
yeah,
sleep
yeah,
early.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That was the only part, but I think in terms of like support,
yeah,
we had that. I mean, that was the biggest thing for us in juniors. We had no worries when we go on the court. There's
yeah,
no pressure of like, yes, you must win, and if
yeah,
you don't
yeah,
win,
yeah.
there was nothing like that.
No.
Win or lose, we still had our friends or
Yep,
family.
yep.
Nobody's criticizing after that.
Mm.
And then in college, it was more like also there's that freedom because it was like a lineup. You're not the only one, even though you play alone,
Yeah.
but you still have teammates
Team,
that
yeah, yeah.
if even if the outcome doesn't go well for you, your
Oh, the
teammates
team,
can pull that up,
yeah, yeah.
and there's that extra morale. Like, but the most important for college, the struggle was combining, the academics and the
Yeah, yeah.
playing.
How are you doing that? Like, I know during the season you play weeks in and out. How are you able to, manage and stay on top of your academics with those traveling? I assume you guys travel a lot. How were you able to, stay on top of your schoolwork? Even with those traveling, did you had to go through extra tutoring or anything?
I mean, yeah, I mean, most student athletes, I think if you don't go for extra tutoring or if you don't email the professors once in a while for extension, I don't
Yeah,
think you did it the right way. Um, but I was lucky. I went through junior college and then D2, D1. So I kind of had like transition from the.
Okay, okay,
It's I
yeah,
won't say junior college was that easy, but it wasn't as crowded as D1. You had that
yeah, okay, okay,
professor
yeah,
to students like interaction. So
yeah, yeah.
it was I was able to adapt easily step by step,
Mm-hmm.
and that kind of helped me through everything.
That's awesome. Can you share some of your most memorable moments on or achievement in your college tennis career?
Okay, so I I had a couple wins as like
Mm-hmm.
a junior college player.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I had wins against D1 New
yeah.
Mexico State at that time. I remember my
Mm-hmm.
friends would say, "Man, we're gonna play against D1. They're really good."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that time, the perception about D1. I mean,
You're
they're
right.
really good
D1, yeah,
D1 and
yeah.
they're really bad D1. So it just depends which D1 you play.
Mm-hmm.
And so my best memorable matches were like when I win against ranked players, and
Mm-hmm.
also like when I get ranked. I was ranked in all three
Oh,
divisions that I
yeah,
played,
yeah, yeah.
and just that my teammates would be like, "Oh, Chris, do you see the new ranking? You're
Yeah,
ranked."
yeah, yeah. What was
That's
it? You were like top what in the
in junior college. I was top five,
in top five and in the whole state. Wow, that's
and then in D2 I was top three.
top three.
Yeah, I beat the number one actually
Oh,
one
nice.
of the spring season,
Yeah, yeah.
and then in Division One I was ranked as high as 31. I
31.
think that was
But,
my that
I
was
mean,
my
come on,
highest,
like
but I mean that's
31,
okay.
31 out of thousands of people, that's so huge. That's so huge. That's huge. So after college, what made you continue with the professional pathway? Some people, would probably go for their career. What did you major in college? What was your major?
I majored in economics.
Economics. Some people like they want to take the route, they want to take the pathway, they want to go walk, corporate job and all. What made you was like, what? I wanna after 4 years, obviously you've been training, you've been competing in college, but what made you like, what? I still wanna go pro. I wanna go chase that dream, I wanna tour around the world, compete with the best players in the world. What made you, take the route?
I mean, if when I look back at the steps, when you see that I went, junior college, D2, D1, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I keep testing myself,
All
like
right.
where
Okay.
can I reach every single time?
Sometimes. Yeah.
And then I mean, obviously all these thoughts didn't just come by me thinking about
Mm-hmm.
it. I had people, which is the most important thing. I had support,
Mm-hmm.
because I've stayed with a couple families, especially in Texas. This one I will shout out to Coach Benny if you're watching, or if you do watch this episode.
Shout out to Coach Betty.
Really, really a big part of the support. Like
Mhm.
probably told me about like my chances at a Division 1 school, and I took that. Like
Yeah.
and then from there, that inspiration kind of got to me that maybe you can also play, pro, because most of the Division 1 players are like pro
Pro,
players.
yeah, they play, yeah.
When I was in college, I didn't play any of the pro tournaments.
Yeah, yeah.
So I went to Vegas, and then Vegas we had a challenger, which is like the I don't know how to say it. Put it in the
Yeah,
in the
like,
lineup of
the
the
future challenge. I was actually gonna get to that, but since we're here, we might as
yeah.
well just talk about it. So, yeah, you did competed in a challenger tournament, the first Nigerian player in many years to play a challenger tournament. How was that feeling, by the way?
I mean, it was great. I mean, I
Did
was
you got big old?
no, of
Okay,
course not.
okay.
I mean, I was hoping. So let me tell you the secret. I try not to tell other people. So I know it was live streamed, so I try not to be like so social about it, like on the social
Mhm.
media. I was like,
Yeah.
just keep it to yourself. Just go and play because it's live stream, and then if you don't play well, everybody's gonna see it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I had all this moments, all these thoughts in my head, but then
Wow.
I went out there. The biggest thing when I was playing that, I wasn't
Mhm.
playing alone. It was on my college campus, my court where
Yeah,
I
yeah. Oh, wait,
practiced.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I had the teammates like
Team, yeah,
cheering.
yeah.
You know,
And were you the only person from your school that played in the tournament?
no, I was playing number one, and our number two guy also got in the main draw.
Oh, yeah,
So some of the other players were
yeah,
playing
yeah.
qualies, but
Okay, okay.
so yeah, it was a really really good experience. I think I almost cramped in the second set, but I held it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. How do you manage your time and balance your tennis commitment with other aspects of your life? You have to practice. someone is inviting you for a party right now. You know the thing. Like, how do you manage that? How do how do you have a life? Because I know it's a lot of job. You're spending hours on the court. Off
Yeah.
court, you're at the gym. You're traveling for tournament. How do you have time for your girlfriend if you have one? But yeah.
Uh, I mean, I think one of the thing when I just did decide to play professional was
Mhm,
like I have to make a schedule for myself, like for myself even. Also, you need to have a routine because I mean,
mhm,
in
mhm.
college we kind of have like practice, we have homework. I mean,
Yeah,
basically all our lives kind of.
yeah,
And as a professional athlete or as a tennis player,
yeah.
I had to like set up a schedule, like try to do something outside of tennis because there are moments in the practice sessions that it didn't go well or you didn't feel great. You need to have something to
To
do to
the
take your
yeah,
mind
yeah,
to take your
yeah,
mind off
yeah.
it. So I mean, that's the party. It wasn't like okay, no drinking the party, but it's just to go hang out with people.
Uh-huh.
Just talk something outside of tennis.
Yeah. All right, Chris. You are currently at 13 plus UTR, ATP World number 1208. What does it take to achieve this right now? What does it take to achieve 13 plus UTR?
So with the UTL, I would just say it's just matches. I mean, I
Mm.
basically like you just have to play a lot of matches. Um,
I mean, you have to play a lot. You have to win. That's
yeah, you have to
you have to
win.
win. But yeah.
I mean, I remember asking for a wild card when I graduated college. I was
Mhm.
ranked 31, so I assumed like, okay, if I ask for a wild card, I'll be like,
For what tournament?
for ICHE, for futures.
Okay, okay,
So
yeah.
I thought they would,
Oh, yeah,
like, he's a good
yeah,
player. Let's give him
yeah.
wild card.
White
I don't say
card,
main draw,
yeah,
maybe qualies,
yeah, yeah.
but no, that's not happening. So I
Oh
mean,
wow,
I had to start, from like scratch playing qualies,
yeah, yeah,
luckily
yeah,
alternate and then get in the tournament.
yeah.
So I kind of I kind of have to keep my mental side strong like when I get in
Mm-hmm.
because when you really get in a tournament there's that need to do well because if you don't do well you're gonna go back to the beginning where
Beginning
you
playing
start looking.
college or
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so when I did eventually get in I was like
yeah.
okay this is it I have to play my best. Actually the first tournament the
Mm-hmm.
guy was running late and it was supposed to be a walkover.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want to walk over. I want to play
You want to
because
play. You don't
because
know
we
when I'm gonna play the next round. You want to get a couple rounds.
yeah. So
But yeah,
I mean
wow.
that's the side that when I for me to get to that ranking, I
Yeah,
had to make sure that I'm mentally ready to play,
mentally ready. Yeah,
regardless of if I get in the tournament or not. But
yeah.
it just that.
Did this happen over time, or it's just a one breakthrough that got you to this, or it's over time of like trying, losing, winning some, gradually, making this point? How long did it take you to achieve this?
So actually, before when I got my first ATP points, I lost like three main draws first round before
Oh
that
wow,
time.
oh wow,
And like when that happened, it's like
yeah,
now when you get in that first round, you need to
yeah.
overcome it.
So you got your point on the third try. Prior to that, you
Yeah,
lost first round in the last three tournaments.
of main draws. Like I play qualies and I
Yeah, yeah.
qualify, and then
Oh,
get
okay,
in
yeah,
main
yeah.
draw. Maybe you
And
get a seeded player or qualifier. It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like that
yeah.
tense
Uh huh, uh
moment.
huh.
But yeah, I got this point within a
Mm-hmm.
matter of time. Like
Yeah,
I just kept playing.
yeah.
And mostly when you win first round of main draw, you kind of have to play a seeded player.
Yeah, it's like
So
draws of 32,
yeah,
draws of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
16. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, like 50% of the time I played like number one seed. It's like after win first round,
Oh,
boom, number one seed.
yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Listen,
it's
like
just
there's a saying that says, to be the best, you have to upset number one seed.
exactly,
So just
exactly.
gotta go get it done. But yeah. So what's the professional life like? Like being a pro. What's that life like to be a pro tennis player?
Three things I would think of is like sacrifice,
Sacrifice, a lot of.
um,
Okay.
organization. Like I mean, you have to be organized.
Yeah, being organized for sure.
Because I remember so many times I have to text people for practices. You have
Yeah.
to set up your match, routine.
Before
Like
practice. Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't if you don't have that skills, or if you cannot do that yourself,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think.
Wow. Wow.
And most importantly is like patience. You have to
You're
be.
patient.
It's a grind. I remember my coaches would be like, "Oh, your forehand is moving." It's like a huge topspin, but then I don't
Yeah.
feel it because I'm
Yeah.
improving, but you cannot tell.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the biggest things. You have to
This.
sacrifice a lot. You have to be organized, and you have to be patient.
Wow. I would say, what are some of the sacrifices you make to stay active and touring? You just talked about sacrifice, but what are some of the sacrifices you make to stay active like that? Keep even after defeats, even after bad tournament. Even the days where you don't want to practice. What are some things you do to stay?
I mean, I don't know if we. I think it's just when I play, I know
Mm-hmm.
that I'm not playing just for me.
Okay.
So
Mm.
whenever I'm on the court, I know the sacrifice I took to get from Nigeria to come here, college tennis, and then now. I mean, it was a big decision trying to decide if I should go get a job or if I should play
Mm-hmm.
professional tennis. I mean, this is a job. I was like a full time 8 to 5.
Yeah.
But I think that one of the biggest thing, obviously, in terms of like healthiness is like what you eat, food. Like
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm going to the party, but I'm not drinking.
You can't, yeah.
Yeah. But
Got it.
you got to sacrifice those part, and then
Mm-hmm.
your sleep routine is like when you're supposed to be sleeping, you have to be
Yeah,
sleeping,
yeah.
and yeah.
Oh wow, nice, nice. What are Where are you currently based, and what's your training and tournament routine like?
So I'm currently practicing at the Tennis Innovators Academy in White Plains. So
Where is that? That's in the United States.
I'm based in White Plains, New York,
New York.
United
Yeah.
States. so I have to make it like that. White Plains, New York, United States.
Okay. Well, thanks for a lot of details like that. But yeah, so you're currently based in the United States, currently training at the Tennis Innovators in White Plains. Okay. Okay. Uh, what uh, what are some of the what's your training routine like and tournament?
So basically, in a week when I'm around,
Yeah.
I trained 15 to 18 hours a week on the court, like tennis hours.
Oh, just the on-court
Just on
hours.
court hours for
Wow.
tennis, 15 to 18 hours.
15 to 18.
And then
Okay.
I have like a gym sections for
Yeah,
like
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
conditioning or some rehab, whatever, for like 2 to 3 hours in the week. So not every day. I just kind of try to alternate that. And then I have on-court fitness maybe 2 or 3 times in the week.
2 or 3 times
So
in a week. Wow.
basically that's the routine. And then I go home. Sometimes I use the sauna so I
So I use the sauna.
I can
Have you?
recover.
Yeah, yeah. How about do you use this ice bath for recovery as well? Have you tried it?
It's funny because like a lot of people in college they make you
Yeah,
do that, but
yeah. You
I've
never? You should try
I've
that.
never done. I mean,
Like
I
sauna
always
is
don't like the
nice,
cold, but
no, try it. Like you go in there, the first probably like
whoa.
a minute, probably first minute, like but after that,
Yeah,
bro, like you'll be good. But yeah, time yourself. Maybe start with 2 minutes, 90 seconds,
yeah,
something, and then time. That's nice. It's nice. You should give it a try. But you should give it a
yeah. I
try.
never tried the ice.
And how about the tournament? What's your tournament routine? How how often do you play? Do you select? Do you go play selected tournaments? How do you map up your tournament schedule?
I actually need to be better at that scheduling thing
Yeah,
because I mean the biggest thing is I mean that's with the tennis.
yeah.
If you don't have the point, it doesn't matter what schedule you make, you're not gonna get in. If you make a schedule to go play a tournament that you don't have the points
Points.
to get in,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
just gonna be hopeful that you're able to play. So the biggest thing is when I started the whole of last year, I had to use that to generate a lot of points that can help me
yeah.
make
Make.
a better schedule. So
Okay,
last year's
okay.
schedule was just
Based on what you get into. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to here play
exact
compete. It's like, oh, I would sign up for this and hope to get in. Do you usually, when you do that, do you sign up for two tournaments at once? So it's like, okay, if I don't get in this, am I getting this? Do you do, how do you do
It
that?
depends on the location. I mean, then the US, I
Yeah.
signed for two at once if they have them.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
I mean, I don't sign when it's like outside of the US. You know, it's like, but yeah, that was. I remember the coaches would be like, "Chris, are you sure you playing this tournament? We have to buy the tickets." I'm like, I only know maybe 3 days before the tournament that
Oh,
for
wow.
sure if I'm gonna go. So it's like
Yeah.
it's tough to schedule. You buy a flight ticket late, you know, all this.
Yeah.
But next year it's gonna be better because now I have enough points at least for the
Okay.
15 and 25Ks. I know
Okay.
I can get it. So now
I
I can
love
be like, yeah,
that.
just be chilling with the big boys.
The
The minute big boys.
You go to the river for tournament. So what are some of your biggest win on Pro Tour?
Okay, I've won against guys that used to be ranked better, but like you know, right now not the best rank. But the current guys that I played that ranked top 300 or 500, I beat one top 300 player, which
Top
was
300,
really
yeah.
big for me. I mean,
Yeah.
people will say maybe he wasn't feeling great, but at the same, he beat me the previous week and I beat him next week. So I mean, I would say it's pretty much though.
Yeah.
I'll take that. And yeah, my first one was against actually a guy top 500, and I was like,
Oh, wow.
damn, okay, I can beat top 500. Maybe I can.
Listen, if you beat top 500, beat top 300, listen, you want, you might, your deal already. It's just the numbers, but playing wise, you guys are all there. You represented Nigeria in the Davis Cup this last summer. You helped them gain promotion into the Group 2. How was the experience like?
I'm looking for the word. I'm looking for the word.
I know that was a huge moment for Nigeria.
I was actually like, I had full body spasm before the match because we had just lost the first singles. And I was sitting down watching the first singles come to an end, and I'm like, my body's like shaking because I have to win to make sure we're
play the doubles too.
And then we had
to keep you guys in the play.
In the play.
Yeah.
And so I got there. Apparently, I think my guy wasn't feeling great that day. So I was like kind of relieved.
Yeah.
But yeah, the feeling, I don't know the word to use for it. All the English professors give us some word.
So I mean, I'm sure it's a priceless feeling. We saw a lot of picture. We saw the Nigerian blogs promoting, pushing it. The Nigerian Tennis Live did an amazing job in covering the moments. Those moments. It's I must say you guys had the best time out there, and that was your first Davis Cup for Nigeria.
Yeah.
What was it like? Just being able to be called to the Davis Cup team representing Nigeria. How did you feel?
I mean, it was a big goal for me. I've always loved to play for Nigeria.
Yeah.
I mean, just like when I started, it was like 2016. I got invited by the national junior coach. That was my spiral moment. From that time, I just kind of improved. I'm not saying that maybe the Davis Cup was gonna make me improve all the way, but I just knew that despite everything, I still play with the Nigerian flag on my thing. So it was like a big moment for me. I played Junior Davis Cup, and now I played the Senior Davis Cup. So I wanted to accomplish that.
I'm sure it's a priceless feeling, but kudos to you.
Thank you.
You played in Africa, Europe, America. Where would you say is the most difficult place to compete, and why?
I love this question because I've always had like thinking of the right answer for that, and I think the hardest place to play. I mean, anybody can argue about that, but it's Africa. Only reason I said that because
I wasn't expecting
because
that,
I know.
Okay.
I said actually as the juniors, maybe Africa is not the hardest place to play. You get points there, but as a professional player or futures level, starting to grind, Africa is the hardest, especially those Tunisia and Egypt.
Yeah.
Because the perception where Africa is easy, so everybody, all the good players,
exactly. It's like that. It's not okay.
Like I've had friends play in Europe, in Spain, they're getting challenges. Like there's the doubles draw is like full of buys. There's like nobody
Yeah.
playing because everybody thinks that Africa is the
So everyone
place.
is
You have
all there. Yeah.
you make
Yeah.
the points there. Oh, it's so much. So all the good players go there.
Mhm.
I mean, I played in Europe. I played here in the US.
Yeah.
Starting wise, 15-25 Ks. Africa is the toughest.
Oh wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You guys heard that. Africa is the toughest, but I haven't played in Europe. I haven't competed in Europe, so I wouldn't be able to. But yeah, I just I know my buddies that plays. It's like we know during Nigeria 2016, 2017, 2018, we used to they host the 25K, and you see top 100 in the world, top 200, I would say, top 250, all coming down there to play. So it's really not as easy as everyone
the
thinks.
Governor's Cup
Yeah,
in Lagos.
Governor's
You see
Cup.
all
So,
the.
yeah.
I mean, Bonacourage was there.
Bonnet Corey,
You know.
there. Lloyd Harris, Lloyd Harris played quarterfinal in the U.S. Open. Was there? We have the Dominic Sturcker, the British guy.
Yeah.
He played in Abuja. We have all those guys that have played in Abuja. But yeah, so it's not as easy. So you are ending the year with an ATP rank of 1208. What should we be expecting by this time next year?
So when I was playing juniors,
Yeah.
we probably we set up goals, but like we try not to make it big so that we don't have like huge expectations. I mean, of course, like I'm shooting for the best ranking. I mean, I know by next summer I talk with my team that we need to be at like top 600-700 in by the summer. But I don't want to be like, we don't want to be like the moments where, oh shit, if that's not happening, or if it's close to the month, you have to be like panicking, oh shit, I have to make this.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just right now I know that, quote me on this, I won't have the same ranking that I have as of right now. Next year, I will be higher than this, way higher in the ranking.
So let's say we're top 900 at least.
At least
top
at least.
900 at least.
Yes.
Okay. Let's we'll look forward to that. Maybe look forward to top 300 as well. Listen, nothing is too big, man. Just gotta go shoot for it. So, what are your plans for the 2024 season?
I mean, I have right now. I have a schedule for the first half, maybe like from January to March.
Okay.
Kind of like hopeful that I get in as many tournaments as I can get in.
I get it. Yeah.
I am actually shooting for a challenger, hopefully within like the middle of the year. I think by that time I will have enough, maybe enough points to get
into challenges and all.
Even though this year towards the end I could have gotten in some challenges like qualies, I just didn't. I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the biggest goal right now. I wanna play a challenger at least.
Listen, you said that you're called to represent Nigeria in the All African Games sometime next year. Could you share that? Is that true, or is it just a rumor? So did you get any official call?
No official call yet, but it's just like a conversation, kind of after the Davis Cup. We kind of we have the All African Games coming up. Just like an information that is out there. But the specific teams have not been called, so I don't have specifics on that.
I mean,
but
a team without you, then it's up to the Switzerland, So it's safe to say you will be called for the team. And have you played the Senior All African Games before? Have you played that before?
No.
So this would be okay. So if there is anything you would like to share, is there anything you would like to share, or to message to your friends, fans, supported, family, anything?
All right. I want to say thank you to families that have been behind this journey. It's like I didn't just make this decision on my own. I had support, and I'm grateful for Tennis Innovators for giving me the opportunity to practice and be able to pursue this career. And also I want to say thank you to Sadiq. Actually one of the people, this guy here, one of the people that made me decide to come to Tennis Innovators. I mean, I know I had a Nigerian guy. The story is funny. I came to renew
Hold
my
on, hold on,
passport.
hold on, hold on.
I have to bring that.
This
But
is not part of the interview.
I have to bring that. This is
This is
guy
not part
made
of the
made
interview.
me come to Tennis Innovators. So this is what I want. He asked me, what do I want to say? I want to say thank you for this guy. And
Listen,
all the you want to say
you're
something now?
you're most welcome. You're an amazing guy. Striven. Heard a lot about you. I left Nigeria, and then it's like Christopher, Christopher, Christopher. Sadly, I wasn't able to beat him. I was retired, so I wasn't able. But actually, I still got him a couple times when he came. But he's an amazing guy, striving, wants to get better. And that just like, I'm like, everyone is like, wow, who is this guy? Who is this guy that's, trending all over the place? But, if you know him, it's like, someone to watch out for in the next couple of years. So the final phase of this interview, this is our 5 questions we ask everyone. Actually, I was going to say, what would you have a shout out to your own boys in Lagos? What would you tell them? Like your
Uh,
parties when they go Balende with or something.
ah. Was that part of the question? Okay. I think that when you look back, you know that it's not when you started. Like somebody once posted that on set. It's like he said it in Nigerian language. Like not who first go there, or like, we self go there, something like that. It's like
Yeah,
it's not who
was
went
been
there
there.
first.
Yeah,
Everybody will be there. So the thing is like, I mean, you gotta keep working, keep aiming for the sky, and it's gonna work.
it's gonna work. You guys are all gonna be touring. Hopefully. Listen, my goal, like I say behind the scene, I was like, listen, I want to be in one of those boxing US Open Grand Slam. So just the reserve seat. I don't want your story. But okay, so the final questions of the show. What's your favorite food?
Jollof rice. Jollof rice.
Jollof rice.
I
There is a debate. Obviously, I mean you're Nigerian. Have
Yeah, okay.
you've had Nigerian jollof,
Yes.
Ghana jollof,
Yes.
Senegalese jollof, Liberian?
Yes.
Who has the best jollof rice? Oh, I mean, to be honest, you've tried both, right? Just your preference.
I mean, I will. I'm a patriot, so I will stick with my Nigerian jollof rice.
Of course.
I love the jollof rice. I think that's the only meal that I know how to make. If I will make anything right now, you wake me up from sleep, I will make you the Nigerian jollof rice.
Okay, I would. We should maybe batch with jollof rice. Make your jollof rice, and make mine, and then we. But okay, well, what's your favorite city?
New York.
New York.
New York City.
Why New York?
I think it's like a mix of culture. When I was in Vegas, I didn't have much of that African vibe or feeling, I mean, or international kind. It was more like either one ethnicity is like popular, or like it's like everybody's like scrambling. But I think New York has a bit of everything you can find.
Yeah.
So I think I
Oh,
just
wow.
know. I don't go there a lot, but I
yeah,
think
yeah.
the city.
Till date, I still find Abuja my favorite city.
Oh.
Till date, like I've been to a lot of cities around the world, like but I still find Abuja my favorite city. What's your favorite? What's your favorite musician?
Right now, Omale.
Oh, Malay.
Omale.
This is not me making it up, but we both have the same. We have the same favorite musician. I like Malay. I was out on a show last year in New York City. I've been to shows a couple times. So Afrobeat or rap?
Afrobeat. I cannot rap. I cannot do rap. I love once in a while the music, but I just cannot keep up. My tongue doesn't move that fast.
Nollywood or Hollywood? Or Bollywood?
Bollywood is out of it. Bollywood what? Hollywood.
Wine or vodka?
Wine.
Fanta soda or fruit juice?
Soda is not healthy for you, but I still go with soda. Once in a
So
while.
I still go with
Once in a
soda.
while.
What's your other than tennis? What's your favorite spot? If not, I mean, aside from tennis,
Aside from tennis, I'd go soccer.
soccer.
Yeah,
Okay. Last but not the least, what's your favorite season?
summer.
Summer. Why summer?
You know, when I, because Nigeria is basically summer all year round. So
Summer,
like,
yeah,
yeah,
you get
yeah,
24,
you get
24, I mean, 12 months of summer.
so whenever it's
But
summer here in the US or
yeah.
anywhere,
Mhm.
I just love it. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
it's great.
But that's the end of the show, Chris. Thanks so much for
Wait,
coming.
I didn't say my inspiration. I didn't say my.
You didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
So you, I was saying that before. I think I didn't
I
finish.
did. Oh, I thought you finished. How did I skip that? Okay.
Sorry. So I think the biggest thing when everyone's like, "Oh, what inspired you?" You know, to play. I mean,
Yeah.
once you're financially stable, which is the biggest thing. I mean, I needed for guys at my club that had the same upbringing like I did. I think the biggest thing is, you know, when you have the support system, like financially, you know, that's when you're able to play. Because a lot of people like, oh, I want to play pro. I love what Chris is doing. You know, I'm lucky that I have the people supporting me to do this. You know, but apart from that, when you have that aspect, you need to be like, know why you're doing it. If you're doing for
Mhm.
yourself or if you're doing for someone, you know, you
Mhm.
just have to find the joy in the tennis. And I think I have that, and I have the people supporting, and that's the biggest thing. So all you guys out there that wants to play, you know, Nigerian players especially,
Mhm.
uh, just be, you know, work hard, hopefully be in the right place at the right time,
Mhm.
and the others is story.
It's all come together. Listen, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for sharing
Thank
this.
you.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Too much too clean, you told me. I don't foster. Serious and other. A big